Before we start the video, the research to make this video was from Bulbapedia. Now let's get started. This is Terapagos, the source of terrestrialization for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. First off, what is terrestrialization? Terrestrialization can either boost the types of one of your Pokemon, or change the types to boost one of the other moves that it knows. Terapagos can power up all terrestrialization on its own while creating its own type called the Stellar Terra type. But this Terra type is actually different from the regular Terra types. For how it works, it is only super effective on other Pokemon who are terrestrialized, and doubles the power of any moves on your Pokemon, but once it's used, it cannot be doubled again. Back to Terapagos itself, this is its regular form before the battle starts, but once it starts battle, it will absorb the terrestrial energy to create a stronger shell for battle. This is its terrestrial form, but once you terrestrialize it though, it will turn into its stellar form with the Stellar Terra type. But here's the thing, what happened to Terapagos a long time ago? Because when you find Terapagos for the first time in the DLC, you'll find a crystal-like cocoon or hibernation pod. The reason why I'm saying this is because its Violet entry says, it's thought that this Pokemon lived in Ancient Paldea until it got caught in seismic shifts and went extinct. Which makes me think, and were there more of this Pokemon back then? If so, what caused the seismic shift in Paldea to cause an extinction of Terapagos? This is Area 0, where ancient and future Pokemon live in the area. I only have Violet, so you'll only be seeing future Pokemon in this video. But here's the thing, we need to go further down in Area 0 to find Terapagos' true habitat. And here it is, the habitat where everything is just crystals, including that tree over there. But as I said earlier, you can only find one of these Pokemon in the game. Looking around this area, you can see that there is only one way to leave and enter this area. But first, when you get here, of course you need to buy the DLC first, is closed off by some other crystals. What you would need to do is to defeat some wild Pokemon in the cave that actually have the Stellar Terra type. With this, only way to leave and enter the cave, this could have been a part of the seismic shift. I think what could have happened is during this seismic shift, there was a cave-in so Terapagos couldn't escape. Because of that, Terapagos wouldn't be able to get to the upper layers of Area 0 to get the vegetational spots. Now that that reason has been explained, here's the other question. What caused the seismic shift? Referencing Terapagos' Pokedex entry again, it talks about how a seismic shift happened in Ancient Paldea. Which brings up, again, what caused it, or more importantly, what Pokemon caused the seismic shift. This is more of a theory, but I think the Pokemon that could have caused it was Hoenn's legendary Pokemon, Groudon. So you know how Groudon, when it fights its enemy Kyogre, a lot of weather is going around with harsh sunlight and a bunch of rains. Something else they would also cause when they are fighting is earthquakes from Groudon and tsunamis from Kyogre. But the earthquakes, they could have caused Paldea to shift, and once Rayquaza shows up to stop the two from fighting, I think there could have been a few earthquakes and aftershocks from it though. which could have caused a lot of the crystals to fall and the cause of the cave-in so they wouldn't be able to escape. Now, one more question is shown. How did Terapagos survive then after all this time? For what I could have gathered was that Terapagos could have went into the crystal that it has as a shell, like how a turtle would, but it absorbs the terrestrial energy, not for battle, but to create some sort of hibernation shell instead.